A very good evening and a warm welcome to this week's first edition of Primetime News. I'm Salima Shimwe-Feleni. In our main story tonight, we commence with politics. Deputy Prime Minister Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah on Saturday described the late Marco Hausiku as an icon of discipline and a compass for the SWAPO party's ideals.
Nandi-Ndaitwah, in her message of condolences in honor of the late Hausiku, said, regardless of the crisis, he remained calm and clear-minded. May we harvest his many lessons and make an impact on an inclusive tomorrow. May thoughts and prayers go out to his wife, children, friends and comrades during their hour of loss. The veteran politician and former Deputy Prime Minister died on Thursday afternoon. He also served as former Minister of Foreign Affairs and SWAPO Deputy Secretary General. He was 67. SWAPO Party Secretary General Sophia Shaningwa in her message said Hausiku's unique intellect and capacity to focus on issues exemplified his boundless spirit. In addition, the president of the Independent Patriots for Change, Dr. Panduleni Itola, said he lost a struggle champion. Hausiku died in the Rhino Park Private Hospital after being in hospital for almost 2 months. He was diagnosed with COVID-19 at the beginning of July this year and died of post-COVID-19 complications. He leaves behind his mother, wife Toini, 6 children and 3 siblings.
Still on politics, former cabinet minister, ex-soldier and journalist Kadanambo Mandela Kadanambo's remains were interred at Farm Okapuka, some few kilometers outside Windhoek on Saturday.
Kadanambo died at 58 on 17 August 2021 after battling COVID-19 for about 8 weeks. He was a vehement fighter against the joint declaration which the German and Namibian governments penned and petitioned to the United Nations Office on Genocide Prevention and the responsibility to protect to intervene in the recently concluded genocide negotiations between Namibia and Germany. Venani fumed that the interests of genocide victims must reign supreme as parliamentarians debate the German-negotiated deal in the coming weeks. He said the deal must be rejected in totality for fresh negotiations to kickstart, for in its current form, it does not represent the values, ethos and suffering of people that went through a genocide. Venani preached that Namibians cannot afford to have political bickering and differences on the genocide, but should stand together in unison to collapse the deal and go for the second round to find a workable formula that represents the collective interest of the genocide community.
Still staying with the burial of the late Kadanambo, the late politician was enigmatic as much as he was a cultural figure. This is evidently encapsulated in his sons' names, Munikoro, the gatherer, and Mutumbe, the wealth creator. The names are a profound message from the late politician to the world. Shimokunu or Shimokondo, meaning what you reap is what you sow.
Munikore is Kadanambo's eldest son, while his younger brother is Mutumbe. They tell Nampa that their father was hardworking, firm, loving, straightforward, caring and honest man.
Well, I can describe my dad as he was a very strict man. He never spoiled us. He wanted us to suffer so we can know the worth of something. We must sweat for something. Well, what I can say is that his golden heart stopped beating, his hard-working hands are at rest. God broke our hearts to prove to us he only takes the best.
Munikore is a character on his own when juxtaposed with his younger brother, but their similarities, both physical and spoken, are quite evident. Kadanambo is a former cabinet minister, ex-soldier and journalist. His combat name was Mandela Kadanambos. Affectionately known as KK, his remains were interred at Farm Okapuka, some few kilometers outside Windhoek on Saturday. The funeral was attended by Vice President Nangolo Mbumba, who represented President Haige Geingob, official opposition leader McHenry Venani, Higher Education Minister Ita Kanji Murangi, Governor James Urikwa, and Laura McLeod Kashira, and former Windhoek Mayor Mweze Kadhapwa, and ex-cabinet minister Katrina Hanse Himara, among other dignitaries. It was a sober moment as pain could be seen on the faces of those who conglomerated to pay their last respect to a man described by many orators as straightforward, upright and unapologetic. As the casket descended into the ground, Kadanambo was honored with 7-gun salute by the Namibian Defense Force. For Venani, Kadanambo was a mirror. What you saw is what you got.
Moving on to neighboring Zambia, President Hakainde Hichilema has announced appointments for top military and police positions as part of the reorganization process since taking office after winning the August 12 polls. Xinhua News Agency has more on this story.
The Zambian president on Sunday appointed Major General Denis Alibuzi as a new army commander, who has since been promoted to the rank of Lieutenant General, while Godfrey Jere will be the new deputy commander. He also appointed Collins Berry as the new commander of the Zambia Air Force and Oscar Nyoni as his deputy. Patrick Solochi has been appointed as the new commander of the Zambia National Service and Ruben Mwewa as his deputy. Hichilema also appointed Remy Kajoba as the new Inspector General of the Zambia Police and Muna Muyambango as his deputy. He also fired all provincial police commissioners. Hichilema commended the former military and police chiefs for their service to the country and said they'll be deployed to other areas in the public service.
Stand by for your top roundup.
Paralympic Games athletics action. And away we go.
It's a terrific throw.
She's strong enough.
And now Kerwa goes.
Oh, hang on a minute. This looks like a world record. Has taken the Paralympic gold in Rio.
What a move.
Roger is doing a terrific job in the bronze medal. She's broken the world record again.
He's got the gold medal. He's a Paralympic champion again.
Moving on to business and economics. The temporary suspension of mineral rights applications affected by the Ministry of Mines and Energy on the 6th of November 2020 has been lifted. Minister of Mines and Energy Tom Alwendo announced this today during a press conference that took place at the ministry's head office in Windhoek. He said the suspension was necessitated by complaints from the public, especially applicants who complained that the ministry takes too long to reply to their applications. Therefore, the ministry concluded to review its requirements and procedures under the Minerals Act relating to the applications for mineral rights and other provisions not included in the Act.
If we receive too many applications, it's a good thing. After all, we want to have people to apply for this so that we can find, discover minerals. That is what the whole idea about people applying for these licenses, so that at least maybe one or two of those can discover the minerals. But we also found that it's too many because there are a number of those applications that are not always accompanied by all the necessary information that is supposed to be part of the applications. And maybe our system wasn't also efficient enough to be able to not accept an application that does not have all the required information.
The minister added that the ministry has now upgraded its system to only accept applications that have all the necessary documents, because the law is also clear on what documents should be submitted when people are applying for mineral rights. He further added that the ministry is in the process of considering a recommendation made by the high-level panel on the Namibian economy to auction mineral rights, which might give the government a fair income, noting that discussions regarding the matter are however still ongoing for the final decision. Salima Shimwe-Feleni reporting for Nampa News, Windhoek.
Russia today called on the United States to release Afghan central bank reserves that Washington blocked after the Taliban's takeover of Kabul earlier this month.
The Kremlin's envoy to Afghanistan, Zamir Kabulov, said if our Western colleagues are actually worried about the fate of the Afghan people, then we must not create additional problems for them by freezing gold and foreign exchange reserves. The United States must urgently unfreeze these assets, he said, on the state-run Russia 24 network, in order to bolster the rate of the collapsing national currency. Kabulov added that without doing so, the new Afghan authorities will turn to the trafficking of illegal opiates and sell on the black market the weapons abandoned by the Afghan army and the United States. The Afghan central bank's gross reserves totaled $9.4 billion at the end of April, according to the IMF. The majority of those funds are held outside of Afghanistan. Washington has indicated that the Taliban will not have access to assets held in the United States, without specifying the total amount there. Afghanistan has long been the world's largest producer of opium and heroin, with profits from the illicit trade helping fund the Taliban.
We'll be back shortly after the break.
Welcome wherever you are on Planet Football.
You can go anywhere in the world, but nobody feels football like we do.
And they sing, they dare to sing.
It's a rhythm.
1-2. 1-2.
Football. La football.
Soccer. 1-2.
That moves us.
Salah to settle it. There's no feeling like that feeling.
It's so nice. It's so nice.
Nothing compares to DSTV's unbeatable football offering. So stay connected to watch the best football on the planet.
And with that, we've come to the end of our top segment. Kindly stand by for your sports update with Joy Gosses.
Thanks for the top segment, Salima. Good evening and welcome to All Things Sport on Sport Planet. We commence with the 2020 Tokyo Paralympic Games. Paralympic sprinter Ananya Shikongo and his guide Sam Shimanda registered the first medal for Namibia in the men's T11 400 meters at the 2020 Paralympic Games in Tokyo, Japan on Sunday night. Hazrin Kapanga, our sports journalist currently in Japan, compiled this report.
They won the medal after finishing second behind world champion and 2016 Rio Paralympic Games gold medalist Gerard Puig Carrega of Spain and his guide Guillermo Gil Rojo, who won the race with a seasonal best of 50.42 seconds. Chikongo finished second with a seasonal best of 51.14 seconds, while French sprinter Gauthier Akunda, who ran his personal best of 51.74 seconds, secured the third medal at the competition. Speaking to Nampa after his race, Chikongo said he has shown the world that Namibians can compete on the global stage, but more competitions are still needed at the International Paralympic Committee Grand Prix, so they are on par with the rest of the world. His guide Shimanda said he is happy to have secured his second Paralympic Games medal, saying it is a better one compared to the bronze medal they won in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil in 2016. Namibia Paralympic Committee's Secretary General Michael Hamkwaya said hard work and dedication paid off on the day. Meanwhile, another Namibian sprinter, Johannes Nambala, missed out on a medal after finishing 6th in the T1300 meter on Sunday night. Namibian athletes will be back with their competition on Wednesday, when Laia Ishitile competes in the T11 200 meters.
In football news, Tura Magic Football Club on Sunday lost their magic touch in their opening match of the 2021 Women COSAFA Champions League qualifiers. The ladies lost 3-0 against Zimbabwe's Black Rhino Queens in neighboring South Africa.
In a match played at Nelson Mandela Bay, South Africa, and monitored online by the Namibia press agency, Magic started the game well, matching the Zimbabwean outfit who had earlier on beaten Group B favourites Green Buffaloes 2-0 in the opening match of the group. It was Rhinos Queens who went ahead through a Rutendo Makore's superb header in the 23rd minute to take a solitary goal lead into half-time. Magic came back in the second half, showing a lot of urgency and intensity in a bid to get onto the score sheet, with captain Anna Shikusho and Tomalina Adams proving to be a thorn into their opponent's defence with their intelligent runs and quick passing. However, lack of match fitness and fatigue started to show as the Namibians conceded 2 quick goals by Christobel Katona in the 66th minute and Makore added the third in the 68th minute to leave Magic with the mammoth task of qualifying for the next round.
Yeah, not a good day in the office, but I wouldn't look at it in such. I think normally the first game is always a challenge. It's a lot of nerves, a lot of uneasiness, new pitch, we didn't get to train on it. And then, of course, the ball is different from what we're used to. But like I said, this is all part of the game. And we these are elements maybe that we can improve on as an organization. We need to give some balls to the teams when they are training so they get used to it. Also to improve the quality. Because at the end of the day, you want quality football for your sponsors. All in all, it's part of the game. We made a few mistakes here and there.
Magic coach Tim Chongarero was graceful in defeat, saying it was not a good day in the office for his team. He said he was optimistic that his club will fight in their next game and prepare well, adding that they have the same chances as Green Buffaloes to make it to the next round. The win means Rhinos Queens are through to the semi-finals as they have amassed 6 points. Magic and Green Buffaloes will fight it out for second place when they meet on Tuesday. Salima Shumwefeleni reporting for Nampa News.
Your sports roundup is up next.
Getting GoTV was the best decision James has ever made. See, James has always watched football wherever he can. Sometimes it got awkward. It was never really comfortable. And finding a good place to watch became more and more difficult, not to mention costly. Traveling for his games took its toll on James until he discovered something big. Now that James has GoTV, he can finally enjoy the perks of home ground advantage. Good for you, James. Get home ground advantage with GoTV. With superstar players competing in the world's biggest leagues and cup competitions, you'll be spoiled for football choice. So get and stay connected to GoTV for the best football season yet. GoTV. Love it.
With that, we have come to the end of tonight's bulletin. Much appreciated for tuning in. Do catch us tomorrow for another dose of primetime news. If you are new to this channel, please smash the subscribe button, like, share, and click on the notifications bell to stay abreast with the latest happenings locally and globally. Do add your comments as well in the comment section. From myself and the entire production crew, keep well. Good night.